Something major has happened in the automotive world, and many people are still trying to understand what it really means. Porsche has officially sold its entire stake in Bugatti Rimac, ending its connection to one of the most famous hypercar brands in the world. For years, Bugatti was seen as one of the ultimate symbols of luxury, engineering, and exclusivity. The company built cars so expensive and rare that they almost felt untouchable. At the same time, Porsche was one of the biggest names connected to the project, helping keep Bugatti inside the giant Volkswagen Group family. But now that relationship is over. Porsche has walked away completely, selling both its stake in Bugatti Rimac and its investment in Rimac Group. On the surface, this looks like a simple business decision. Porsche has been dealing with financial pressure, slowing electric vehicle sales, and growing costs across the automotive industry. But the timing of the sale has caused many people online to ask deeper questions. This happened shortly after YouTuber Mat Armstrong became one of the biggest talking points in the supercar world because of his Bugatti rebuild videos. Those videos did more than entertain people. They challenged the image Bugatti spent years creating. Mat showed that a badly damaged Bugatti Chiron could be repaired outside Bugatti's official system. He also revealed that some parts inside the car were shared with other Volkswagen Group vehicles. For many viewers, this was shocking. Bugatti's entire image has always been built around the idea that its cars are unique masterpieces that only factory-trained experts can repair. Suddenly, millions of people were watching someone rebuild one in a normal workshop. That is why people are connecting these two stories together. Even if Porsche's decision was mostly financial, the online discussion around Bugatti changed dramatically after Mat Armstrong's videos became viral. To understand why this story matters so much, it is important to look at Bugatti's history inside the Volkswagen Group. Back in 1998, Volkswagen bought the Bugatti brand under the leadership of Ferdinand Piëch. His dream was not just to build fast cars. He wanted to create the most extreme road car the world had ever seen. That dream became the Bugatti Veyron, a machine that completely changed the hypercar industry. The Veyron was expensive to build, incredibly difficult to engineer, and almost impossible to justify financially. Reports over the years suggested Volkswagen lost money on every car sold, but profit was not the point. Bugatti existed to prove what Volkswagen engineers could accomplish when money was not the main concern. Later, the Chiron continued that same idea by pushing performance even further. Bugatti became more than just a car company. It became a symbol of engineering power and luxury status. Then things started changing in the automotive industry. Electric vehicles became the future. Governments pushed stricter emissions rules, and traditional car companies had to rethink their strategies. In 2021, Volkswagen and Porsche decided to restructure Bugatti by creating Bugatti Rimac together with Rimac Group, the Croatian electric performance company founded by Mat Rimac. Many people saw this as a smart move. Rimac was known for advanced electric technology, while Bugatti had one of the strongest luxury names in the world. Together, they could build the next generation of hypercars. Porsche took a 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac, while Mat Rimac controlled the remaining share. At the time, the partnership looked modern and future-focused. But only a few years later, Porsche has completely exited the business. That sudden change has surprised many people because it happened so quickly after the company presented Bugatti Rimac as an important part of its future strategy. The official reason behind Porsche's decision is connected to money, and the numbers coming out of the company have been serious. During 2025, Porsche's profits reportedly dropped dramatically as the global automotive market became more difficult. Electric vehicle demand slowed down in several major regions, including Europe. At the same time, production costs increased, competition became stronger, and many companies inside the Volkswagen Group faced pressure to cut expenses. Porsche is still a powerful brand, but even successful companies cannot ignore major financial problems forever. When profits fall sharply, executives begin looking at every part of the business and asking difficult questions. Does this investment help the company grow? Does it bring stable profits? Is it connected to the company's core products? Bugatti Rimac may have been exciting from a technology and branding perspective, but it was not producing the kind of financial returns Porsche needed during a difficult economic period. Rimac itself is respected for its technology, but building advanced electric hypercars is extremely expensive and still not a guaranteed path to huge profits. Because of this, Porsche decided to focus more heavily on the products that built its success in the first place. Cars like the 911, Cayenne, and Macan continue to bring in strong sales and support the company's financial stability. From a business perspective, selling Bugatti Rimac may have simply been a strategic decision to simplify operations and recover capital. However, timing matters in public opinion. The sale happened after months of online discussions about Bugatti's repair practices, exclusivity, and pricing structure because of Mat Armstrong's Rebuild series. Even if the two events are unrelated internally, the internet naturally connected them together. People started asking whether Bugatti's carefully protected image had been damaged at the exact moment Porsche was deciding where to cut costs and reduce exposure. That question alone created massive interest online because it combined business drama, luxury cars, and social media influence into one story. Mat Armstrong's Bugatti Rebuild became popular because it felt like an ordinary group of people challenging a system that was designed to appear untouchable. Mat is already known for rebuilding crashed supercars on YouTube, but the Bugatti project was different because of the way Bugatti and mate Rimac publicly spoke about the car. The damaged Chiron had previously been described as something that could not realistically be repaired outside official Bugatti facilities. The idea was clear. Bugattis are not like normal cars. They require special equipment, special knowledge, and factory-level support. That message reinforced Bugatti's luxury image because it made the cars feel almost impossible to own without relying on the company itself. But Mat Armstrong decided to test that claim publicly. Working with experienced fabricators and repair specialists in Florida, he began taking apart the damaged Chiron piece by piece. Millions of viewers watched the process online. Every new episode created more attention because the rebuild seemed impossible at first. The project became even more controversial when Mat explained the difficulties he faced trying to buy official Bugatti parts. In several moments, the video suggested that Bugatti was not interested in supporting an independent rebuild. Instead of giving up, Mat's team started fabricating certain parts themselves and finding alternative solutions. This turned the series into more than just a car rebuild. It became a story about independence, problem-solving, and proving experts wrong. Viewers love underdog stories, especially when giant luxury brands are involved. As the rebuild continued, many people started seeing Mat Armstrong as someone exposing how exclusive brands protect their image. Whether that interpretation is fully fair or not, it made the series incredibly powerful online. The emotional side of the story became just as important as the technical side because people were no longer only watching a car get repaired. They were watching a challenge to the idea that only giant corporations can control these vehicles. One of the biggest moments in the Rebuild series came when Mat Armstrong discovered that some parts inside the Bugatti Chiron were shared with other Volkswagen Group vehicles. The most talked about example involved the airbags, which reportedly carried the same part numbers as components found in an Audi A3. For many viewers, this was shocking because Bugatti has always presented its cars as ultra-exclusive engineering masterpieces. Seeing parts connected to a relatively ordinary Audi created a strong emotional reaction online. In reality, shared parts across large automotive groups are extremely common. Companies save money and improve reliability by using proven components across multiple vehicles. Even brands like Lamborghini, Bentley, and Porsche share technology and parts with other Volkswagen Group products. From an engineering perspective, there is nothing unusual about it. However, perception matters more than technical reality in luxury branding. Bugatti's image depends heavily on the feeling that every part of the car is rare, unique, and handcrafted specifically for that vehicle. Mat Armstrong's videos weakened that image for many casual viewers because they show the car in a completely different way. Instead of feeling like an untouchable machine from another world, the Chiron suddenly looked like a product connected to ordinary corporate supply chains. Another major talking point involved the repair costs associated with Bugatti ownership. Mat also discussed a Bugatti Veyron gearbox issue that allegedly carried an enormous repair estimate before the actual problem was traced to something simple. Stories like that spread rapidly online because they reinforce the belief that luxury brands charge extreme amounts partly because customers expect exclusivity. Whether those stories fully represent the reality of Bugatti ownership is still debated, but the public reaction was powerful. People began questioning how much of Bugatti's pricing structure was based on genuine engineering complexity and how much depended on carefully protecting a luxury image. That conversation alone was enough to make the Rebuild series one of the biggest automotive stories on YouTube. Despite all the excitement surrounding Mat Armstrong's videos, it is important to keep the story balanced and understand Bugatti's side as well. Building and repairing hypercars is far more complicated than repairing normal vehicles. Cars like the Bugatti Chiron use advanced carbon fiber structures, extreme aerodynamic systems, and engines capable of producing massive amounts of power. Safety standards for these vehicles are incredibly high because the cars are capable of speeds most road cars will never approach. From Bugatti's perspective, strict repair policies are not only about protecting profits or exclusivity, they are also about liability, quality control, and brand reputation. If a poorly repaired hypercar crashes at very high speed, the consequences could be catastrophic. That is one reason luxury manufacturers prefer using approved repair centers with specialized equipment and training. Even though Mat Armstrong's rebuild appeared successful, Bugatti would likely argue that one public success story does not mean every independent repair shop should start rebuilding damaged Chirons. Large companies must think about legal risks and long-term reliability in ways YouTube creators do not always need to consider. There is also the question of how much the internet exaggerated the impact of Mat's discoveries. Shared parts do not automatically mean a car is less special. Many hypercars use components from parent companies because designing every single piece from scratch will be financially unrealistic. In fact, some shared parts are used specifically because they are already tested and reliable. The emotional reaction online often ignore that reality because audiences are naturally drawn towards stories that expose luxury myths. This is where the script surrounding Porsche's departure becomes complicated. Some viewers now believe Mat Armstrong exposed major weaknesses in Bugatti's business model, while others believe the internet simply turned a normal corporate restructuring into dramatic entertainment. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Mat's videos definitely changed how many people view Bugatti, but Porsche's financial decisions were likely influenced far more by market pressures and internal corporate strategy than by YouTube alone. What makes this entire situation fascinating is how much power online creators now have compared to traditional automotive media. 10 or 15 years ago, most people learned about supercars through magazines, television shows, or official press events. Brands like Bugatti controlled their image very carefully because information moved slowly and access was limited. Today, YouTubers can reach millions of viewers faster than major television networks. A creator like Mat Armstrong can completely reshape public discussion around a brand simply by documenting a rebuild project in detail. That level of influence would have been almost impossible in the past. The Bugatti Rebuild series proved that audiences are deeply interested in seeing what happens behind the luxury image. People want to know how these cars are built, how they break, how they are repaired, and whether the stories companies tell are fully true. This shift creates both opportunities and risks for manufacturers. On one hand, creators generate huge amounts of free attention and excitement around automotive culture. On the other hand, they also expose details companies might prefer to keep hidden. The internet rewards transparency, authenticity, and emotional storytelling far more than carefully controlled corporate messaging. That is one reason Mat Armstrong's videos became so successful. Viewers trusted the process because they could watch every mistake, every challenge, and every discovery happen in real time. The story felt genuine. Meanwhile, corporate statements often feel distant and carefully managed. Porsche's exit from Bugatti Rimac happened during a moment when online creators are becoming more influential than ever in shaping public opinion about luxury brands. Even if Mat Armstrong had no direct impact on Porsche's financial decisions, his videos became part of the larger conversation surrounding Bugatti's future. In a way, the rebuild represented a changing automotive world where information is no longer controlled entirely by manufacturers. Independent creators now have the power to challenge narratives that once seemed impossible to question. Looking ahead, Bugatti now enters one of the most uncertain and interesting periods in its modern history. Without Porsche and the direct support of the Volkswagen Group, the company becomes more independent but also more exposed. Bugatti still has enormous value as a brand name, Around the world, the Bugatti badge represents speed, luxury, exclusivity, and engineering excellence. Wealthy collectors will likely continue buying Bugattis because the cars remain rare and emotionally powerful. At the same time, the automotive industry is changing quickly. Electric technology, environmental regulations, and shifting customer expectations are forcing even the most legendary manufacturers to adapt. Mat Armstrong is widely respected for his engineering talent and vision for the future, which gives many people confidence that Bugatti can continue evolving successfully. However, independence also means greater pressure to deliver results without relying on the financial strength of massive corporate parents. The company must now balance innovation, profitability, exclusivity, and public perception all at once. Mat Armstrong's Rebuild series may not have directly caused Porsche to leave, but it did expose how fragile luxury branding can become in the internet age. A single viral series changed the way millions of people talk about Bugatti. That alone shows how different modern media has become. In the end, Porsche's decision was probably driven mainly by economics, restructuring, and long-term strategy. But the timing created a perfect storm for online speculation and discussion. The result is a story that feels bigger than a normal corporate business deal. It became a debate about exclusivity, transparency, repair culture, internet influence, and the future of luxury cars themselves. Whether Bugatti emerges stronger or struggles under its new independence remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The world now watches these companies differently than before, and creators like Mat Armstrong have permanently changed how automotive stories are told online. One of the biggest moments in the Rebuild series came when Mat Armstrong discovered that some parts inside the Bugatti Chiron were shared with other Volkswagen Group vehicles. The most talked about example involved the airbags, which reportedly carried the same part numbers as components found in an Audi A3. For many viewers, this was shocking because Bugatti has always presented its cars as ultra-exclusive engineering masterpieces. Seeing parts connected to a relatively ordinary Audi created a strong emotional reaction online. In reality, shared parts across large automotive groups are extremely common. Companies save money and improve reliability by using proven components across multiple vehicles. Even brands like Lamborghini, Bentley, and Porsche share technology and parts with other Volkswagen Group products. From an engineering perspective, there is nothing unusual about it. However, perception matters more than technical reality in luxury branding. Bugatti's image depends heavily on the feeling that every part of the car is rare, unique, and handcrafted specifically for that vehicle. Mat Armstrong's videos weakened that image for many casual viewers because they showed the car in a completely